This is a TV16 news break. This was a day for serving up the tastiest eats and delivering the widest smiles. Celebrating 20 years of service to district residents, Anacostia's United Planning Organization shows why it's one of the community's most valuable assets. The nonprofit agency is at the forefront of the fight to improve local communities struggling with financial and educational difficulties. Located at 17th Street and Good Hope Road Southeast, the center provides education, promotes awareness, and advocates on behalf of low-income areas. The Service Center offers a wide range of services and activities for individuals and families residing in Wards 6, 7, and 8, including adult education, housing, emergency services, youth development, basic computer skills, and food handling certification classes. With 20 years and counting, the United Planning Organization remains not only a source for good, but a catalyst for change.
Mayor Vincent Gray and a host of celebrities, activists, and political figures recently came together to rally for voting rights in the District of Columbia.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
The rally was held at Freedom Plaza and featured spirited speeches from an array of supporters of the city's crusade for voting rights.
This is fundamentally about our rights as Americans. You know, we've served America just like everybody else has. Now it's time for America to serve the needs of the people of this city by according us the same rights.
And there's no reason in the 21st century why people should hold on to the antiquated idea that the people of D.C. should not be fully represented in the Congress of the United States. It's time to free D.C.
At the conclusion of the D.C. voting rights rally, Mayor Vincent Gray, city leaders, and district residents marched to the grounds of the Washington Monument, where a national call to action rally took place.
Because I pay taxes, I pay federal taxes, and then when I realized that we don't have a vote, you know, that makes me really sad. You know, because it's like our money is being used not according to the way we want it to be used. You know, it's like we have a big brother over us all the time. So I feel that we should have a right to vote in Congress.
Thousands of city residents turned out in support of the voting rights rally, which was held on the eve of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial dedication.
"14 years in the making, a dream to erect a national memorial honoring the life, dream, and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King rises from the banks of the tidal basin. It is the Stone of Hope, the centerpiece of a memorial that many have been dreaming about, it seems, forever. It is, of course, the Martin Luther King Jr. National Memorial, the first memorial to a man of color on the National Mall.
Good morning.
On October 16th, under a glorious sky, young and old, tens of thousands thronged onto the National Mall for the official dedication of the King Memorial.
Today, in the shadow of this magnificent monument, we get to hear reflections from those who marched with him, were inspired by him, and those of us who benefited from his vision.
Civil rights leader Julian Bond provided context to Dr. King's quote at the base of his statue.
Yes, if you want to say I was a drum major, say I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. Racial equality, economic justice, world peace, those were the themes that occupied Dr. King's life.
I am especially proud to stand here as one of the 4 children to whom my father referred to, as he resounded the American dream that one day we would live in a nation where we would not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character.
He was a champion of human rights and social justice for all people, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or nationality. We must stand up for social and economic justice.
Let's use this occasion to go out and finish the task, do what we must do to create a better world, to create a more perfect union. Hang in there, don't give up, Don't give in, don't give out. Keep your faith, keep your eyes on the prize, and walk with the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr.
D.C. Mayor Vincent Gray reminded the nation that even Martin Luther King once spoke out about the lack of freedom and democracy for district residents.
Today, we gloriously honor Dr. King's legacy and his dream. But sadly, for the 601,000 residents of the District of Columbia, that dream remains unfulfilled. As the residents of the District of Columbia know all too well, but sadly most Americans do not, if you live in Washington, D.C., you do not have a vote in Congress. We pay our nation's taxes, we fight our nation's wars, but we have no vote.
Arriving to formally dedicate the National Memorial, President Barack Obama toured the site with the First Family, taking time to reflect on the legacy of Dr. King.
An earthquake and a hurricane may have delayed this day, but this is a day that would not be denied. For this day, we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s return to the National Mall.
And so this towering 30-foot granite likeness of Dr. King now stands for the ages, a national memorial honoring a man of hope, a man of peace, and a man of color.
The National Association for College Admissions Counseling, or the NACAC, held their annual DC College Fair at the Washington Convention Center. Students streamed in from all over the Washington, D.C. area in order to take advantage of having over 300 colleges and universities all in one place. The students were able to get information, applications, and all the forms needed to effectively mount an aggressive college admissions process. The exhibit floor was occupied by many local schools, including George Washington, Georgetown, and Howard universities. The mayor visited the college fair to encourage students to continue their education, meet with school representatives, and field questions about education in the District of Columbia.
Mayor Vincent C. Gray joined 7-Eleven executives to announce the opening of 2 new stores and to invite district residents to a unique on-the-spot hiring opportunity.
Well, it's another aspect to our One City, One Hire program, in which we're working hard to get D.C. residents back to work. This is working with 7-Eleven. They're opening 2 stores, 2 new stores in the District of Columbia. Somewhere between 19 to 20 people will be hired in each store. And we're working with them to be able to screen and interview and select people who live in the city who we hope will be hired for these positions.
The Department of Employment Services provided the location, job coaching and mentoring services, and other incentives for participants.
So the Department of Employment Services is working with the corporate office at 7-Eleven to help them staff the 2 stores. The real exciting part of this is that they're actually going to, individuals will be hired on site, so we're excited about that.
The new 7-Eleven locations, which are corporate stores, will be franchised. The 7-Eleven Corporation is committed to working with Mayor Gray in identifying D.C. residents to be included in the pool of applicants with an interest in becoming a franchise owner.
Well, what's in it for us is anytime we open a new store in the area, we'll have 150, 200 applicants of people wanting to work for us. My field consultants then have to shift through those people to find the best qualified ones. What this process does for us is allows us to let the experts here in the building find the best of the best for us, and then we can talk to the 50 or so candidates that they feel are right for our stores. So it really narrows the process, and we make sure we get the best of the neighborhood working in our stores.
This has been a TV16 News Break.